All right, then. Here we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Beautiful, beautiful day down here today. Oh my God, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's funny that, so I think we hit like 39, right? That was like the high temperature, it was like 39. I mean, I think they said it was going to be like 41, but I think we only got up to 39. But the sun was out all day, snow was melting, batteries charged up good. I mean, it's just overall, and it's like you look at it and go, oh, that's awesome. So a lot of snow melted today, which was really, really good too. So really happy about all of that. So anyway, welcome everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you've had a good weekend. And we're gonna get this one going here in just a minute. Now I do have to go out here in just a second and call Hella once again because I've called her twice and of course she hasn't come in yet again. She's only been outside for like 15 minutes, but she gets on her little adventure and she doesn't always come back when I want her to come back. So I figure, well, let me let her out before the live stream. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get up here. So remind me in like in 5 minutes if I don't just do it myself. Uh, somebody to go and call the dog. She's such a snot. She is such a snot. So anyway, I want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. Also, you know, we're not going to tolerate any nonsense here. So if you do think you're going to, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. So no racism, no nastiness, no stupid stuff. And people are still going to do it anyway because they're morons. But my crew that I have on are they're awesome and they get rid of the garbage really really quickly, which is just great. So anyway, so that being said, um, yeah. So actually, I had a conversation today, and you know, talking about. So what we're going to be talking about to start with, okay? We're going to be start talking about USAID. They're saying that it's going to basically go from having 14,000 members or people working there to down to like 293. And I want to remind everyone, and everybody's like, oh, some people are like, oh my God, that's terrible, blah, 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 blah. Elon Musk cut Twitter staff by 80%. Has it dried up? Has it gone away? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten more efficient? Um, all those things are yes, it's gotten better, more efficient. They've added new stuff. You don't need always to have this bloated staff, and that's the bureaucracy that they're getting rid of. And I am 100% okay with that. 100% okay with that. When you have too much fat, people get complacent, they get lazy. And I'm not saying that all the people that work for USAID did. I'm not saying that at all. But, they're doing mass layoffs and they're getting rid of people. And, when you have the government gets too much, you know, it's never a good thing. Never, never a good thing. Well, we got 186 people in the chat already. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you real quickly to do that. So only a third of you have. Also, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Um, and thank you for thank you for doing that. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Smaller government equals less corruption, less power, and better money management. Well, like I said, if you think about if they get rid of that many people off the staff, just the savings alone of not having to pay benefits, not having to pay out those paychecks for those people, and getting rid of the wasteful spending, which is what the American people want. So I was gonna. Well, let me call her real quick. Hold on one second. Come on, girl. Let's go. Ella. All right, just remind me in about 5 more minutes. She ain't coming yet because she's a snot. But they're cutting a lot of people, and of course, here's what I think is. I mean, anyway, I had a conversation today, and the person I had a conversation with was like, "Well, I'm not against reducing the government and stuff like that. They just didn't like the way it's being done. I have absolutely no problem with the way it's being done. Because again, let's go back and look what Biden did, right? As soon as he got into office, 10,000 people that worked on the pipeline got laid off, right? Just boom, just like that. And what was his response to that? Well, they'll have to get over it, right? Remember that? I do, right? I remember that when they've done all this insanity that they did over the last 4 years, and people basically came out and said, I don't like this anymore, right? They said, I don't like this anymore. And I get it, you know. Of course the Democrats are pissed. And that's the thing. That's probably the biggest slap in the face it should be to people, the everyday people, that they're mad because they've caught this corruption. They're mad because they're letting these people go. They're mad because, the prosecuting team that went after Trump was all let go. They're mad because, as the president, he has that right to get rid of the people they're not elected positions, they're appointed positions. So he has that right to do that. He has, and I don't know how you could be mad about closing up the southern border. I really don't. And again, the wording. It's always the wording, which I have always found to be the biggest crock of crap ever. Undocumented immigrants. No, it's illegal immigrants. They're not here legally, which makes them illegal. They're not undocumented. See, they've broken the law to come in here, and now the chickens are coming home to roost, and people are pissed off about it. Well, too bad, because you know what? As a taxpayer, I don't want my tax money going to pay for crap like that. All right, I don't. I want my tax dollars to help Americans. That's where I want my tax money to go. I want it to help Americans. And that's it. And if people don't like that, well, that's a them problem. You know what I mean? It's like, why is it that when one side does something, and again, guys, this is something that's gone on forever with the left and the right, okay? But when one side does something, we have to deal with it. When the other side does it, well, then we're monsters and we're Nazis and we're, anti this or anti that. No, it's called following the law. So, like I said, I don't have any problem with immigration whatsoever. I don't. Okay. If you want to come to this country and, and work hard and get ahead like everybody else has to, I don't have a problem with that. But you shouldn't come into this country and get everything handed to you when there's veterans out on the streets that need help. So, and again, I'm going to always break it down to this with the people on the streets, okay? A lot of homeless people, right? Now, some of those homeless people, it's not because they want to be homeless. It's because their circumstances and affordable housing and the whole 9 yards, and they kind of got forced out there, and they're trying to deal with that. Okay, that makes it difficult. Now you have another segment that's homeless because they want to be homeless. They want to do drugs and do whatever else they're doing. Okay, I believe that we should be giving those people the opportunity to help themselves. And if they don't want the help, then oh well, okay. I mean, it's like you give an opportunity. Here's a way for you to help yourself. We will help you if you will help yourself. But the reality is, a lot of people, and you guys, everybody on here, when I'm talking to on this, everybody knows somebody that needs help, um, but they don't want to, you know. So I don't believe in passing a living wage thing. I well, our retirees should be getting more than what they're getting, okay? Because there's no way they can live on what they're getting. You know, I know like with my mom is on a fixed income and they get so much a month. And so they get, yeah, time to check on Hella. Okay, hold on 1 second again. Come on, girl. There she is. Come on, baby. Get in here. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. All right. Can I sit down? Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. So yeah, she's back. Like I said, she's a snot. My uncle is an alcoholic and doesn't want to take care of himself. And like I said, everybody on here knows somebody. I had a really good friend of mine. I cared about her a lot, but she would never help herself. Drugs and alcohol and those type of things. And you know, and I had even said to her, I like you a whole lot better when you're not drinking. You know, and sometimes you got to walk away. You know, sometimes you have to walk away because if people won't help themselves, if you enable them, you are not helping them. That's something else. We all love our children. We all love our, you know, the people in our families. But if you continue to give them money and to help them, I had a really good friend of mine. His son had a major drug problem, like with heroin and the whole 9 yards. And you know, I had said to him at the time, you know, when he was, you know, going through it, and it's his kid. And I mean, I get it. I trust me, folks. I get it. I want to always help my children as much as I can, but I kept telling my buddy, I said, dude, all you're doing is enabling him to continue to do what he's doing. That's all you're doing until he hits rock bottom and makes a choice. You know, nothing is ever going to change. And that kid, grown man, actually, he was in his what was he, like 30, 31, 32? He ended up going to jail, you know, because of the stupid stuff that he was doing. And my buddy finally got to a point where he wouldn't help him anymore. And, you know, but it took a while for him to get there. And we had a conversation afterwards. And, you know, he was like, you know, man, I at the time, I didn't want to see it, you know, but you were 100% correct. I said, dude, you know what? I said, you know, been there, done that. You know, I mean, you can't help people that won't help themselves. That's number one. So there's always going to be homeless people out there. But if there are people on the streets that legitimately want help, right? That want to get into housing and to be, because here's the problem, what a lot of people don't realize. Let's say I'm looking for a job, right? Well, what is your address? Well, I don't have an address. Well, there has to be, they got to have some kind of an address for you to send paperwork or your paychecks or whatever. They have to have an address. So if there's no address, it's definitely much more difficult to get a job because of that. Okay. So if we can help people that want help, and that's the other thing too. And again, you should only get so many chances. It doesn't mean we help you, we get you set up, and then you act like a piece of crap, and you don't pay, and you don't work, and you just sit around on your behind forever and a day. That's not called help. Help is a hand up, not a hand out. Okay, and so that type of help should be a temporary thing to get you back on your feet and get you going again. So oh, everybody's not a drug addict, right? I agree 100%, and that's what isn't that what I just said? I said there are people out there that legitimately need help. They've become homeless under whatever circumstances they weren't able to pay or whatever the case may be. That happens, and I just said that we should help people with a hand up, not a hand out. That's exactly what I just said. There is, and I also said there's a certain segment of them, you know, define what you mean by help. What do you, are you not listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth? Right? What's a hand up? A hand up is a temporary situation where, okay, we're going to help you get a place to live. We're going to help you, um, go through the process of getting a job, and that help is going to last for whatever determined period of time, 3 months, 6 months, whatever the case may be. It's not forever. Okay, that's what I mean by a hand up. So you help people get back on their feet. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. It's not about, oh, well, we'll let you, like back when I was young, there were people, generations, folks, generations, and other people that are my age can attest to this, that people generation after generation were on welfare, and they had to system down, have kids, get more money. The more kids you had, the more money you got. And they finally said, okay, we can't keep doing this because the system is broken. You are you are not giving details. I just gave details. I don't know. Are you not listening? If someone is working at Walmart not making a living wage, what's a hand up for that person? Where you work is a choice. Where you're working is a choice. If you want to better yourself, you get into programs where you can better yourself. I don't know, what do you expect, that people should just pay you for because you don't? Yeah, exactly. Sounds like it. So I just, there's help, and then there is, here's my teeth, stay on it forever. Well, we're not going to be doing that. About 13% of the homeless population in the United States are veterans. Right, and they're dealing, a lot of the veterans are dealing with drug problems, alcohol problems, because they're not dealing with the true problem, which is whatever they're masking with the drugs and the alcohol. So I think that's an important first step in a lot of those type of situations, that we help these people process, get through whatever they need to get through, so that they can move on. You know, dealing with just the drug and alcohol problem is never, that's not the underlying issue. The underlying issue is whatever got them to, you know, to that point in the first place. But you know, like I said, there's no clear perfect answer. Okay, but giving people something for doing nothing, that's got to stop, and that's why a lot of the problems that we have in this country are where they are right now. That's why they're where we're at right now. When you have so many